Well, a very good morning one last time again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richard, and I want to welcome you to Richard's Crystal Ball. No lie, the single biggest technical class I've ever put on in my entire life. As you can see, that's a mess over there. We're going to talk about a lot of different tech, a lot of different things like that, but I've had two questions that people have been asking me since I finished the last class, so I want to address those first. First of all, the question that everybody's asked me is, I said, hey, you've been referencing some website where you're posting everything. And what's the website? How do we get to the website? Different things like that. The name of the website is ilearnreview.com. This little camera right here has been recording everything. My mom will not watch the 45-minute videos every single day that I've been doing. So I clipped out the 4-minute clip about my grandmother from yesterday. And she said, this is a direct quote, she said, in the 29 3/4 years you've been alive, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen you do. So I posted that as a separate video on the website called Evil Grandmother, based on a true story. I hope grandmother sees it. I'll send her the link to her AOL account, but will she ever actually get that email?
No, no, no!
Okay, so we know that. Now, another thing is, yesterday I gave everyone my email address after the class, and one of the first questions I got it 17 times in my primary inbox is, what about me.com/iCloud addresses / all of those different things like that. The answer to that question is a me.com address, if you're on a Windows computer, is very hard to get to. If you're on a Windows phone, it's very hard to get to. If you're on an Android phone, it's very hard to get to. But that's not even the biggest thing. This is the way I feel. Apple only gives you 5 gigs of storage for free for everything. And one of the responses was, hey, I'm an Apple shareholder, and that's why I use the me.com or the iCloud.com email address. And I'm like, yeah, I'm an Apple shareholder too. I use Apple devices. I don't have to use their email providers. So, I mean, the answer to your question is there is nothing wrong with me.com, but you're eating away from your 5 gigs of storage. With Gmail, you're not eating away from those 5 gigs of storage. Does that make sense? I think that's the best way to go ahead and explain what's going on. So I want to show you a bit more about ilearnreview.com, and then we're going to talk about some of the different gadgets and some of the different gizmos that I brought with me today. So, ilearnreview.com, this is my site right here. It just goes to a YouTube page right now. There are 86 videos that are up there on that page. This class, the last 4 or 5 cruises worth of classes, everything goes up there. Now, generally, we're going to do a Google Photos class every cruise. Generally, we're going to do a Gmail class every cruise, and that will get kind of repetitive, but we have something we do on port evenings, which we haven't had very many of here on this cruise, that we do on port evenings that change every single cruise, and those are only about 10 minutes long, and those are the ones that my mom goes ahead and watches. It's called iLearn Review Live, is the name of the things that we have going on, but this is ilearnreview.com, and it's on YouTube. And you don't have to remember anything other than ILEARN review.com, and it'll take you right to here. And if you want to make sure you never miss what we're doing, there's a big red subscribe button. Subscribe does not cost you a dime. It's just to make sure you're notified when something new comes up and different things like that. I'll be out here till June 20th posting new things. Most days, not Embarkation Day, not the day everybody gets on and off, but most of the other days you will see something really cool that's posted right there. And you'll see every class we've done so far this cruise is right here on the screen. So you'll see the most recent one, which I uploaded last night, was the Richard's Evil Grandmother, based on a true story. Gmail and more, advanced smartphone apps, iLearn Question Time with Richard, everything is there. There's 92 videos right now, to give you a little idea. And that's really, really cool. And that's the place I wanted to go ahead and start today, is the content, the digital content of the future. Now, I have not had cable TV since I left the house, what was that, 12, 13 years ago, to give you an idea, since I was 18. I have not had cable TV. I did have, because it came as part of my apartment, I had some internet that was based with Comcast, but I didn't pay for it separately, but I've lived on YouTube for many, many, many years. And what's becoming interesting is even the TV people are starting to embrace YouTube. They're starting to, if you watch any of the late night shows, if you watch The Daily Show, if you watch anything like that, all these late night shows, all the daily shows, Saturday Night Live, everybody's on YouTube now, and they're forgetting the medium of TV. I, as a single a single individual. This YouTube channel is all mine. I take the video with that little camera, I edit together with my MacBook Pro, and I post it up to YouTube. And people are like, that's kind of interesting. I am my own director, writer, producer, everything like that, and I can post it online, and there's thousands of people all over the world that are doing this. This little camera is a marvel of technology. It means I don't need a cameraman. Right as I'm talking right now, it is zooming in on my face, it's following my face around, I can see exactly what's going on. The amazing thing is where the tech has gone. Now I'll mention the name of this camera. It's called the Mevo. M-E-V-O is the name of that camera. It's a really, really cool camera, and if you watch any of the videos, that's exactly how you're seeing it's being done, is it's tracing me on the Mevo. But YouTube's a very interesting metric because YouTube's going to go ahead and take a lot of business from traditional media. So it's going to take a lot of business from the traditional media companies you know and love to hate. Here's the thing though, the demographics for YouTube are generally not this demographic. Generally not this demographic. But I'm going to show you a side of YouTube that you never get to see. And this is why I want to show you this, because this is very, very cool. So this is a side of YouTube that you never get to see. Let me see if I can get him playing real quick. That's something that I don't think I'm allowed to show you, as per my contract with YouTube, but bye YouTube. This is actually very cool, because every person who has a YouTube channel can see a lot more information. Have any of you ever heard of Nielsen before? The boxes that watch what you do on TV, I think that's in the US, it's in the UK, it's in Canada. It's the biggest company and it knows what you're watching. Now, does it know exactly who's sitting in front of that TV? No, it has no clue exactly who's sitting in front of that TV. Does it know their age? Does it guarantee they're watching? Does it do any of those things like that? No. So here's where things start to get really interesting. When we watch TV, I'm sure we all DVR the things and just fast forward through the commercials. Am I correct in that assumption? In the future, though, your TV is going to know, your TV and your internet are going to know so much about you that it only needs to show you one commercial. Because the reason you watch 4 minutes of commercials is something relates to you, and something relates to you, and something relates to you, and something relates to you. Now what I see as a YouTube creator, to show you, there's an application that I can view, and I can actually view my audience. So I can see how old people are, where they're from, different things like that. It's really, really cool. So I can go into analytics, and what this is doing is this is going to make much more powerful, so I can see that the evil grandma clip's been watched 4 times since I posted it about half an hour ago. A separate clip. But I can see my audience, just to show you this. This is really, really cool. It's going to actually show me my demographics. So I have 66.6% male watching, 33.4% female. Ladies, you need to help me out. 33.4% female. And most of my age bracket is in the 55 to 65 plus age bracket. 18 to 24-year-olds, you need to help me out. And you'll see United States, United Kingdom, Canada, unknown region, Romania, and I can go in and I can see all of this. I can also see how long people are watching each and every video. So I can see average view times, I can see all this. This is something, so what I can see, to give you an idea, is in the previous 28 days, my videos are only being watched 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Now they're being watched 9 minutes and 11 seconds. Towards the future, imagine if someone could know how long you're watching content and make that content specifically for you. This is happening right now, but not a lot of people are seeing it because this is not public. I like to show this to give you a little idea, is I can go in and I've got all this information, all of these analytics about all of the people that are watching my information. Here's the problem with YouTube still. If I post a video, any of you anywhere in the world can view that video. If Saturday Night Live posts a video, you can only view it if you're in the United States. Are we in the United States right now? No. The thing that's going to happen in the future is you're going to see content be a lot less region locked. Now, a good example of this is a company that we all know called Netflix. I'm sure you've heard of Netflix before, correct? Have any of you ever watched a movie on Netflix before? And if you take that movie, I'm going to give an example, Jurassic Park. If you want to watch Jurassic Park on Netflix, and you have a Netflix subscription, and you are in the United States, guess what? You can watch Jurassic Park. If you cross over to the border to Canada, guess what? You can't watch Jurassic Park, because they don't own the rights to Jurassic Park in Canada. But here's where things get interesting. Talking a little bit about the future. Netflix owns a lot of their own content. Orange is the New Black, House of Cards. I just started watching last night, Bill Nye Saves the World, which is, it's an adult version of Bill Nye. It's very strange. I made it through the first episode. But here's the coolest thing. A lot of Netflix's content is now made by Netflix. So is there a region locking to that content? No. You can watch it anywhere in the world. This is the tech companies of the future. Right now, a lot of people are like, okay, if you want to watch Who Watches The Bachelor, I don't understand, or Survivor, if you're not in the US and you want to watch The Bachelor or The Survivor, can you? No. Well, if you know how to cheat it, let's be honest. You nerd. I know you well. But if you know how to cheat it, but here's the cool thing. I can take any show on Netflix and I can watch it anywhere in the world. And not only can I watch it anywhere in the world, I can also download it to my device. So even if I don't have an internet connection, I can go ahead and I can load it down to my device. And I've got all of these ones downloaded. These are things that oh, there's Jurassic Park, who would have thought? I've got all of these things downloaded right here, and I can watch them even when I don't have an internet connection. So what you're going to see is the content creators are going to become closer to the content providers. Have any of you ever heard the term net neutrality? Something very interesting is going to happen in the next few years. At home, all the UK people, I see a bunch of UK people, BT provides your internet, provides your TV, that's British Telecom. A lot of people have BT providing all that. If you're in the States, it's probably provided by Comcast. If you're in Canada, Bell, Shaw, Telus, am I correct in that thing? Those are the people that own the lines. Since net neutrality in the US has been struck down, they're going to start making their services work better than all of the other services. So if you want to watch Bell streaming video or Comcast streaming video, it's not going to count against your data cap and it's actually going to work. But what happens if you try and watch Netflix in the very near future? It's not going to work. It's not going to work very well. If you try and watch YouTube in the very near future, it's not going to work. It's not going to work very well. Because here's the thing you've got to understand. The people who make the content and the people who own the pipes are not the same. Now, the people who make the content and the people who own the pipes are becoming the same. So what's going to happen is, over the next few years, it's going to be very difficult to watch things like Netflix, like YouTube, like all these other providers. And do you think Netflix and YouTube, which is owned by Google, are going to lay down and take it? Or do you think they're going to make their own network? And you think they're going to deliver internet to your house? They're going to deliver TV to your house? They're going to deliver phone service to your house? I think this is where this all gets extremely, extremely interesting. Because right now, Netflix relies on Comcast, or relies on T-Mobile, or relies on Verizon to get you this information. But that's not how it's going to be in the future. I am willing to make a very strange bet that although my phone says T-Mobile in the upper left-hand corner, if I were to look at my iPhone in 7 to 10 years' time, it will say the provider is Apple. If I were to look at my Android phone in 7 to 10 years' time, it will say my provider is Google. If I were going to look at a BlackBerry in 7 to 10 years' time, it will have disintegrated. And it won't exist anymore, but that's another story completely for another time. Now, when we're talking about all these things, it all relies on something called the cloud. Netflix is in the cloud, Google's in the cloud, Apple's in the cloud, all of these companies are in the cloud. Now, who is the #1 cloud provider in the world? Amazon. Amazon's the #1 cloud provider in the world, and believe it or not, the internet, I'm talking about on the ship, the internet actually went down about 2 months ago because someone put an extra comma in the Amazon.com code. They put an extra comma in there and the internet went down. But the cloud is a very, very interesting thing. I want to show you an interesting cloud app called Akinator, A-K-I-N-A-T-O-R, the Genie. So this is Akinator, the Genie. And what this does is this uses Amazon's cloud to do some very, very interesting things. Now, this is very simple. I'm going to pick someone in the front row to help me out here. So what I need you to do is I need you to think of any person, alive or dead, okay? And it can be a fictional character as well. Any person, fictional character that everyone in this room would know, and you can answer some basic questions about, like if they've ever been married, a famous person that everybody in this room. So I'll give you an example. I'm going to tell you who we don't pick. We don't pick Donald Trump because he's been picked the last 7 months, every single time we've done this class. So we're not going to pick a president. But elsewise, you have free reign to pick anything you want. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the cloud to figure out exactly who that person is to give you a concept there. So we're going to figure out exactly who that person is using the cloud. Name of this app is Ank'Atar. I have 10 million possible people in my phone here, and my phone is going to go ahead and decide what's going on there. So you've got a person in your head. You're just going to answer some simple yes or no questions about that person. We got it? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Is this person a female? No. So what this is doing is it's going to use the cloud to figure out exactly who she's thinking of. Has this character really existed? Is it a real person or is it a fictional character? Okay, yes. And what you'll see is it's got a little bar right down here, and as this little bar goes, it's getting more and more certain of who the character is. Is your character from YouTube? Probably no. That's just one they asked for the kid. Is your character an athlete? No. Has your character recorded any albums? Are they a musician? Uh-oh, she's picked someone good. Has your character ever been married? Yes. She's got one. Did your character die? Are they alive? They're okay. And what this is doing is it's using the cloud to, is your character American? Yes, okay, here we go. So far I can only track that it's a dead American man. Has your character ever been the president of a country? Is your character an actor? No, oh my. Has your character been dead for more than 100 years? No. And what it's doing is it's actually figuring out, it's eliminating using Amazon's cloud for more than 10 million possible people. Is your character the boss of an important company? Oh my. Was your character murdered? It's going to ask some weird questions. Is your character's work dangerous? Oh, she's got a hard one. Has your character been dead for more than 20 years? Yes, okay. We're getting somewhere. Is your character a scientist? Just her. Is your character a writer? You're not sure. Don't know. Okay. Is your character famous thanks to TV? Are they famous thanks to television? Yes. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Is your character a news presenter? Is your character associated with comedy? Okay, here we go. She said yes. Here we go. We're getting in there. Is your character normally in a chair? Is your character a stand-up comedian? Yes, there we go. Is your character linked with the color red? No clue what that means. Does your character play an instrument? No. She picked a very hard character. Is your character part of a comedy group? It's pretty sure. It's got a good guess. Is your character bald? No. Okay. I think it's got a pretty good guess. And your character was, you can say it. Oh? Jack Benny. Let's see. Okay, here's the problem. We would have picked someone like, well, we can say no, and we can do it. I don't even know who that is, I'll be honest with you. I was born in 1987. I have no clue who that is. I'm sorry, I'm just telling you the truth.
It's okay.
But like, I'll give, what? Don't go there? Okay.
No,
it's okay.
It's okay, it's okay.
Okay, so there was a question that was wrong there. Okay. So that's why we got to make sure. But the cool thing is, I'm not going to demo it again, but it's called Ank'Atar, and you need to make sure that the person knows a bit about what's going on. But none of that was just being done on my phone. It was all being done in the cloud. And what people ask me all the time is to say, hey, Rich, you used to be 50 pounds heavier. How did you lose a lot of weight? And I said, it all just went up in the cloud. It also went up in the cloud. No, here's what's interesting. I have something in my pocket, which I have not eaten. I've had it for a couple months. It is a thing of 6 Oreos. And attached to those 6 Oreos, there is a barcode. Now, here's the question for everyone in this room. What does that barcode tell you about these Oreos? Is it the price? No? Doesn't tell you any of that.
Product number.
All it tells you is 0440000470009. That's it. Because this same package of Oreos is sold in Walmart, is sold in Target, is sold in Tesco, is sold every English-speaking country, the same package of Oreos, the same barcode. What makes sense of this Oreos is the cloud. So when we pass the Oreos over the register, the cloud figures out how much they cost. But what I did is I used this same information to figure out how many calories were inside of the Oreos. There's a great app called Lose It, Loseit. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to scan the barcodes of your food. So you can scan the barcodes of your food and get you. So for breakfast, I'm going to have some Oreos. You cannot scan a bacon cheeseburger donut. Pointing that simple fact out, but finding foods within your barcodes. Oreo cookies, sandwich crunch 6-pack. And I've got 6 pieces there. That is 320 calories. So, only. But if I wanted to add something else, I can go ahead. I've got a chocolate bar in my pocket. Right now it's actually just molten chocolate, because I didn't realize what happens when you put a chocolate bar in your pocket. But I got my chocolate bar right there. And I can scan that in as well. Now, I figured out everything about that chocolate bar and about that food to give you a little idea. Now, I have a barcode there. I figured out about the chocolate bar. I figured out about the food by using that barcode. That's right down there, and I figured it out. So I can add in and see how many calories I have, my calorie goal. I can even go ahead and track my weight automatically. I showed this in the first class. I've got a scale, and I got a blood pressure monitor that track my weight and put it into this app. And this is how I was able to track my eating over time. Now, I was using the cloud. I never typed my weight into the phone. I never typed my BMI in the phone. I never typed anything like this into the phone. My mom just redid the bathroom in her house. And one of the things that was interesting is they offered her something very strange, and we got it, is they said, well, we have this product. It's a scale that's built into a bathroom tile. Don't know the name of it, but then you don't have to have the scale in the way, and when you stand on the bathroom tile, it weighs you and sends it via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth directly to your device. So you're like, if you don't want to know that, then don't buy the scales in the bathroom tile. But you can even go in with these applications and you can track exercises as well. So I can go and exercise. I've got biking, I've got elliptical, I've got walking, and sexual activity.
Oh, yeah.
And just so you know, it takes 2 hours of active activity to burn off 1 6-pack of Oreos. So, yeah, it takes a little bit of work to burn off 1 6-pack of Oreos. But here's the thing that's interesting. Now, we have barcodes now, but barcodes are something that are going away in the near future. Barcodes won't be around much longer. Why that is because that requires me to actually physically scan every single item. So I have to physically scan every single item. That barcode is very inefficient. So what they're going to replace barcodes with, they're not the little square thing, not the QR codes like my friend in the front row was saying, are something called NFC tags, which I have some right here. Essentially, they're just tiny little chips right here, and these tiny little chips are going to be on every single product that you buy in a store. And when you'll be able to walk through a metal detector archway, it will know exactly what you have in your cart. You don't need to see a cashier. You don't need to see anything. You walk through the metal detector archway. It does everything you're doing, and you're done. You tap your phone, you tap your watch, and you're done. And what's cool is this is really good, but you know who really wants to use that? Retailers. Because I'm sure some of you have gone to the store before. One of my favorite apps is the Amazon app. You go to the store before, you open up the Amazon app, you got your barcode. I paid $13 or so for my Shout cleaning wipes in Walmart. That's why I wear black, because you can't stain it. You can rip it though. But if I go in, I can take this and I can scan with the Amazon app. I can scan the barcode, and it will actually find out what that product is. When these companies go to NFC tags, it's going to make it impossible to go ahead and comparison. Oh wow, I well overpaid for that. I paid $12.50 for this, and it's $2.96 on Amazon, just to give you an idea. But here's the basic concept. One of the really cool things in the future that you're going to see is something called computer vision. You don't need a barcode. Instead of a barcode, you can just take a product, put it right inside of the screen, and it will actually figure out what that product is. Now, there's a new phone that I said I was getting in Southampton, which is the Samsung Galaxy S8. And unfortunately, the problem is I lied. I picked it up yesterday. It doesn't release until Saturday. But I want to thank you all because I went to the official Samsung shop. I showed them a picture of the theater. I said, I'm going to give them my opinion on the phone. We'll talk about that later on. But this is the new Samsung phone right here. Let me just put in my code. I'm not going to talk about it just yet. We'll talk about it a little bit. But here's the cool thing. When I take a picture with this phone, it asks me if I want to keep that picture or I want to use that picture to search. And what you're going to see in the future is you're going to be able to use pictures to search. Now, there's a couple applications that exist on your phone right now. If you have an Android phone, there's an application you can download called Google Goggles. If you have an iPhone, there's an application you can download called CamFind. But I want to give you an example of what this does. This is an application called Google Goggles, and here's a little example of what you can do with Google Goggles.
With Google Goggles, you can search with pictures. So today, what we're going to try to do is recreate Mount Rushmore and see if Google Goggles recognizes it. First piece. We're going to make his hair around, right?
I'm just going to add a few strips to your head.
Further, for your face perfect. Steady perfect. Lincoln, awesome. Looks good to me. You guys ready? Mm-hmm. Good. Good work. All right. We're missing something.
And this took 3 days to shoot. I was actually the guy behind the camera.
Pearl brows, presidential.
Now, the company behind this is actually Google. It still is Google. It's called Google Goggles, and it's something called computer vision. That's actually what's making Google Photos work and all these other applications that are out there nowadays that have computer vision work. Now, here's a strange question. I'm looking for an artifact. Does anybody out here have what they used to print stories on pages? It's called a book. You've got, oh my. There's a museum in the UK. I need to borrow your, oh, it's from the ship. But you'll see that this archaic piece of tech has a barcode on the back of it. Now, it won't very soon. Now, imagine, I just took a random book. This is not prepared. Imagine if I could just go ahead and open an app and figure out exactly what this book costs, where to buy it, and everything like that. Now, I can do that with the Amazon app, but that only works for products. That app that you just saw is called Google Goggles on Android, but on iPhone and iPad, it's called CamFind, C-A-M-F-I-N-D. And what I can do is I can take a picture of anything, and it will tell me what it is. So it's taking this, it's sending it to both Google and Amazon's cloud, and it's saying, hey guys, do you have any idea what this is? And here's the cool thing. More often than not, the clouds respond and they say, yes, we do. This is very cool because this is the future. This is when you're going to be looking at things. You'll have them built in. There we go. Keep Me Posted by Elsa. Now, the thing is, it knew it was
Elsa Beasley book.
Keep Me Posted, Elsa Beasley book. Can you see E-L-S-A in the front, or is it covered by that fiction label? The E-L is covered by that fiction label. It actually understood the picture. Think about this. In the future, you'll be able to take a picture of anything and you can search directly with it. Let me pass that back. So you can search directly with a picture. Now, these are things that we've done before. These things we probably haven't done before, and these are going to be built into things that we know and we love, well, love to hate, like Siri. I'm sure we've all heard of Siri. Let's try my little friend Siri real quick, because I want to explain to you what Siri's actually doing. We will be in the UK, what day? Saturday. Anybody going to London? Yeah. Okay. London's probably a better place to check than Southampton. So, I can ask Siri, what's the weather in London on Saturday?
Here's the weather for London, England on Saturday.
So, the weather for London on Saturday says it's at, oh my, it's going to be sunny. When I grow up and I leave ships, I want to be a UK weatherman. Easiest job in the world. I'd like to let you know that today it's going to rain. And if you're wrong, people are happy. If you do your job bad, people are happy. That's the greatest thing ever. But here's the cool thing. I just asked my phone what the weather is going to be in London tomorrow. This is Siri. This is something we've probably all used at some point in the past. Before, I said, what's the weather going to be in London tomorrow? And it responded, on Saturday, and it responded what the weather's going to be in London on Saturday. But did my phone actually understand what I just said? Now, you remember Dragon Dictation back in the day, the thing you had to talk to for like months before it started understanding you? Now you can pick up the phone as long as you speak your language relatively well. You can say anything you want and it will understand exactly what you're saying, which is what's very cool. It's actually interpreting and understanding what you're saying right there, and I've got that right there. So it recorded my voice, sent it from my phone to that laptop right there, from that laptop to a router in here, from the router to the iLounge on deck 6, from the iLounge on deck 6 to the satellites on deck 16, up to space, down to Germany, across to the US, to the main headquarters of iCloud, which is in North Carolina. It's the place least likely to have an unplanned natural disaster in the US. The Research Triangle in North Carolina is the place where most companies keep their backup data centers. To be completely honest, that's actually really cool. And then it went all the way back in fractional seconds. Give me another location someone might be on Saturday. Paris. What's the weather in Paris on Saturday?
Here's the forecast for Paris, France for Saturday.
So on Saturday in Paris, it's going to be sunny as well. But here's the really interesting thing. Did you see how long that didn't take to do that? That took fractional seconds. Nothing on this ship was understanding. It all comes down to the cloud infrastructure basis. The companies that own the cloud are Apple, Google, Amazon, Netflix, all of these big companies. The companies that don't own the cloud, Yahoo,
For the last time, no.
AOL,
No.
Microsoft's free services, not their paid services.
No.
To give you an idea, is all of these things work very fast because they're using very good, very strong clouds. But here's where things start to get really interesting. Imagine if in the future you didn't need your phone. This is a product that came out, I'm going to show you this one, called Ashmexa. Now, you will understand in a couple seconds' time why I call it Ashmexa. Don't worry why I call it, but this is called the Amazon Echo, right here. And I saw this product a couple years ago. It came out 2014, Christmas time. I got it right in January of 2015, and I've had it for a bit. And this is called the Ashmexa. It's actually called the ALEXA, but I can't say it out loud for another couple of seconds. And what it is, it's a little tiny speaker that actually understands what you're saying. But there's no need for a phone. There's no need for a tablet. There's no need for anything. If I wanted to know the weather, I could just say, Alexa, what's the weather in London on Saturday?
On Saturday, April 29th, there will be intermittent clouds with a high of 57 and a low of 47.
And I could say, Alexa, what's the weather in Paris on Saturday?
On Saturday, April 29th, there will be partly sunny weather with a high of 61 and a low of 48.
Okay, so I can go in and I can ask a very simple question like that, but I can ask slightly more useless things, like, Alexa, ask for a fart.
Incoming.
Or, like he said in the front row, Alexa, tell me a joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's
Who's
there?
there? Isabel.
Isabel who?
Isabel who? Isabel not working? I rang 4 times before I started knocking.
Alexa, tell me a dirty joke.
What is brown and sounds like a bell? Dung.
Here's the cool thing. You'll notice that she's actually very loud as well. This is Carnival's backup sound system for their ships run out of power. They use it in the theater. We don't want to talk about their backup plumbing system. That's for another time. But what's really cool is this does not require me to touch anything or do anything like that. I only have it up on the screen to show you what's going on. That's why I have it up on the screen. But the true ability of the future is when gadgets are actually going to sort of run themselves. Now, this is a very interesting technical demo that I have not tried before, especially on stage in the theater. Now, Alexa's from Amazon, Siri's, oh, I said the word. She is from Amazon, Siri is from Apple, and then there's someone called the Google Home, which is going to take me a couple seconds to get going so I can show you what's going on. Just need to grab my phone real quick. I have too many phones. Okay, let's fix that. So there's something called the Google Home, and what the Google Home is the Google Home is like a Schmexa, and it looks like an air freshener. You see that? Oh, look, it's a pretty air freshener. But here's what makes the Google Home so different than the other ones, because the Google Home can actually connect to your television. So the Google Home can connect to your television using something called the Chromecast. Now there's another thing that's very interesting. We've talked about a couple of times over this cruise. It's called Google Photos. I'm sure you've heard of it before. So it's called Google Photos, and I can actually use this to connect up to Google Photos. Now, I was experimenting with some things last night, and this is very, very, very dangerous to do when you're projected up on a screen. But imagine if I wanted a picture of, I'm waiting just a second for it to come up. Let's try this. What do I go with? Okay, Google. Show me a photo of Richard sleeping on Batman. It should. Behave.
Showing your photos of Richard sleeping on Batman.
And in a few seconds, it should pop up on Batman, a picture of me. This is very hard to do in the theater and get set up and technically going. Let me make sure everything's good. Okay, Google. Show me pictures of penguins on Batman. Now, Batman is the name of my TV right here, and what's cool is this can actually interface with my TV.
Penguins on Batman.
It's being a little weird because I have it hooked up to a giant screen. Batman is hooked up right now. Let me reboot him real quick, but I can go in and I can control my video, I can control my audio, I can control everything with my voice. Here's where this gets really cool. This gadget actually, it needs to be plugged into the wall, that's why I can't bring it up here. This gadget actually just got updated the other day, and in its update the other day, they allow up to 6 voices to be used at the same time. So if I ask to show me my photos, it's going to show different photos with my voice, then it'll show with my mom's voice, then it'll show with my sister's voice, then it'll show with any of these other ones. I'm just waiting for it to boot up real quick. And it's actually plugged into the screen here. I'm inverting over and I'm doing all kinds of crazy things. And I got this to work before the class. Let me try this one more time. Okay, Google, show me my photos of penguins on Batman. And Batman's the name of my TV right there. Let me see if it wants to.
Showing your photos of penguins on Batman.
It's going to take a couple seconds. I'm going to see if I can get Batman to come up just because it's linked here. But what's cool is I can actually show, okay, Batman. Batman's there. Batman's there. I said it was a big technical setup. Let's try it one more time. Okay, Google. Show me my photos of Richard sleeping on Batman.
Showing your photos of Richard sleeping on Batman.
Oh, it's been stupid with me. But what's really cool is this can actually tie into Google Photos. I can ask for a YouTube video. It'll open a YouTube video on my TV. It'll open all of this. The problem is I'm inverting over with 7 different adapters to be able to get it to work on the TV. But imagine for a second if I could say, show me these photos, and guess what it does? It shows me the photos. It worked perfectly fine before the class. That's the way that the world works and the world crumbles, to give you a little idea right there. I'm going to leave it up for a couple seconds while we talk about something that I think is getting very, very interesting. And I want to show you this on the screen as well. So, I said I got my new phone the other day, and I think this is very, very interesting. So this is the newest phone on the market. It comes out on Saturday. It's called the Samsung Galaxy S8. And you're looking up on the screen and you're saying, why is Richard using the Samsung device? Here's the answer. I have in my hands a Samsung Galaxy S8, and I have in my hands an iPhone 7 Plus. Which one has more Samsung parts in it? The iPhone. Here's why I got this. It's very likely, I'm just going to pass this to someone that you've probably never seen this before. The front of this phone is entirely screen. It has a bigger screen. It's hard to see. If you see me around the ship, I'll have this in my pocket because it's my new toy. But it has a bigger screen than the iPhone 7 Plus and a body that's almost as small as the iPhone 5S. Think about that for a second. So a bigger screen than the 7 Plus and a body that's almost as small as the 5S. And here's where stuff gets really cool. I'm going to see if I can show you this guy right here. So if I take this guy right here, I can actually plug it into a screen. I'm going to go ahead and get my gadget here so I can plug it properly into a screen. But I can actually plug it directly into a screen. So I take this guy right here, and I can take my phone and I can turn it into a desktop computer. And I've been playing with this for about 12 hours or so. That's all I've had to play with it. But I can take my phone, I can dock it into this little dock that I have on the floor right here, and I can actually turn it into a desktop computer. Let's see if he wants to come up on the screen. And I can go in and I can control it and everything like that, like it's an actual full desktop experience. I've got that adapter, hopefully. I didn't bring enough adapters, I apologize. But this is really cool because I can go in, let me do this one more time. I know this one will work. Here we go. And I've actually got a full computer right here. I want to show you this because this is really an interesting little thing. So I have this, and I just docked my phone into something, and in a couple seconds' time, I'm going to have a full computer that I can use on my screen. So open the app, and I have all of my apps. I'm really not sure what I'm opening right here. I can't see the whole screen. That is Google Home. So I have all of my phone apps directly on my computer screen. So I can plug into the TV, I can plug into anything like that, and I have all of these apps directly up here if I want to open anything, if I want to do anything, because here's the thing, most of the time on our phones nowadays, we stick inside of apps. So imagine if those same apps can go to your computer, and when you're done, you just take the phone right off the dock, and guess what? It's done. So I've got it right here. It's actually really, really quite cool. This is called the Samsung Galaxy S8, and before I got my hands on it, I was going to poo-poo on it today. I was going to say it's going to explode, it's going to do this, it's going to go do that. Very simply, it's one of the best phones on the market right now. I can't say I can rank it above the iPhone 7 Plus, but you would never think that's something you'd hear come out of my mouth, did you? And I think that's very, very interesting because it's very telling of where the times are headed and where the times are going right now in terms of tech. Now, what you'll also notice is I never give up on a tech demo, and I really want this Google thing to work. So while I was doing that, I distracted myself. Come on, let's try it. Last time. Okay, Google. Show me my photos of penguins on Batman. So well before the class. I checked in here and everything.
Showing your photos of penguins on Batman.
Guess what? I think he wants to do something. Oh, it hurts. Hey-o! Look at that, look at that. Kind of pull us out the big theater, but since we got it going and we're on a roll, let's try for something else. Okay, Google. Show me my photos of Richard in a bathtub on Batman. TMI? Pre or
Showing your
post?
photos of Richard in a bathtub on Batman.
That's what happens when a suite is empty. It's called a master key. It's a great thing to get a hold of. It thinks that's a bathtub. Now, when I was young, I didn't like to take showers, so one day my mom made me and my sisters take a bath. But it's really cool. I can actually go in and I can query anything. Let's go for something completely random. Someone give me something completely random. What? What? Something? Haunted house, awesome question. Okay, Google, show me my photos of haunted houses on Batman. And I don't know what's supposed to come up.
Sorry, something went wrong.
Okay, good.
Try again in a
Good. Okay, Google, show me my photos of theme parks on Batman. We got a couple seconds.
Showing your photos of theme parks on Batman.
Now, if you know I was talking, there we go. Here it goes. That's actually in Aruba, but we can pretend it's a theme park. It's gone ahead and identified it as the trolley in Disney. But I've been talking about, okay, Google, show me photos of ice cream in Lisbon. And what's cool is this is directly referencing Google Photos.
Showing your photos of ice cream in Lisbon on Batman.
There we go. There's the Coca Kiwi from yesterday. But where I love to go, now ice cream's not what I'm looking forward to. I can say, to show you how smart it is, they say, okay, Google, show me photos of IKEA on Batman. My favorite thing about Southampton is the IKEA. I go out for breakfast and I go out for lunch when we're in Southampton.
Showing your photos of IKEA on
And
Batman.
there we go. Traditional English breakfast from IKEA. But here's the magic. Did you see me touch a device? Did you see me do anything like that? Or did I just ask and it obeyed? The coolest thing about the personal technology of the future is it's not going to get in your way. I can ask it to do something. I can say I've lost my phone, it's going to ping my phone. I can say I've done that, it's going to ping that. I can say all these things and it's going to do all of these different things. But the last thing I want to talk about is actually this guy right here. This guy's, I'm really confused with what's going to continue to show. Oh, those are my sheets. They're from IKEA. I took them off the bed to sell the price tag. No, I mean, last thing I want to show you is actually this. This is a crazy powerful piece of tech right here. This is called Google Wi-Fi. And as of right now, it's just a home Wi-Fi router. You put it in your house and it gives you Wi-Fi. But the tech behind this is going to put cell phone companies out of business in the very near future. This is called mesh networking. Instead of your phones needing to talk to a tower, and your tablets needing to talk to a tower, and your computers needing to talk to a tower to get internet, you know what they're going to do? They're going to talk to each other. All these devices are going to go ahead and talk to each other. And what's going to happen is very soon, Facebook, Google, and Apple are working on Wi-Fi-based solutions that will cover entire cities. Do you need phone service once those exist? They're going to cover entire cities. You live in a city, you've got all of that right there. Google has a project called Project Loon. It's not designed for the US, it's actually designed for Africa, that put giant balloons in the air that broadcast Wi-Fi down. Facebook has drones that broadcast Wi-Fi. Apple has all these things, and there's companies that start up all the time that are doing that. And what I think is really cool is content. This is dangerous. This is every picture I've ever taken in IKEA. I mean, I love IKEA. There's my mom, pre the weight loss. She'd kill me if I say that. I should probably turn this off. I didn't watch these pictures far enough to know what comes up there. But what's really cool is this kind of tech is the forward-thinking tech of the future. What you're going to see more and more is you're going to see the big companies that are out there, the Apple, the Google, the Facebook, the ones I've been talking about be relevant. In a couple years' time, Verizon won't matter. AT&T won't matter. T-Mobile won't matter. Comcast won't matter. Yes. Because here's the important thing. Content is king. What technology does is brings people together. Technology brought all of us together in this room 6 times this cruise. Learning about new tech, learning about all those things. And what I don't like is when you go out to a restaurant and everybody's sitting on their phone, and everybody's playing on their phone. I'm one of those people that when I go out and I eat, I put my phone away. You think I have so many gadgets? But here's the thing. Sometimes you take those gadgets, you put them away, and you talk to people. And what I want you to leave this class, this session of classes knowing, is that the way technology works nowadays, the future of tech is going to make our lives easier, is going to make our lives simpler, is going to do a lot of different things. And our goal is to take you from technology no to, believe it or not, I got yesterday.
Oh, excellent.
A yes button. If you didn't get the no buttons before I got to the stores, I bought every single one of them. So I have 17 no buttons in my cab, but.
Right away. Sure thing. Certainly. Of course. Why not? Yes.
I got a yes button, and I even have a portable one. It's the yes button keychain. They didn't, unfortunately, they didn't have the no button keychain. The travel one you can always have with you.
Of course. Why not? Yes.
So here's what I want you to do. When you walked on this ship on, what was it, April 16th?
Yeah.
You walked on the ship on April 16th. A lot of you walked on with AOL accounts. A lot of you walked on with Verizon accounts. A lot of you walked on with Yahoo accounts. I want you to take in your mind the future. I want you to understand where the future's headed. Are you going to buy all these gadgets that I didn't have time to go through half of them today? Yes, but are a lot of you going to buy all these gadgets? No, but if you're a more informed consumer, it makes life better for everyone. So my goal today, and my goal of the whole cruise, was to expose you to a little bit of tech. I want to let you know everything you've seen over the past 12 days, 13 days, came from here. Nobody writes this stuff. Nobody edits this stuff. Nobody produces this stuff. These are my own toys, my own gadgets, everything like that, and I am personally invested in buying these products as well as in these companies, to be completely honest. So as a full disclaimer, yes, I do have Google stock. Yes, I do have Apple stock. Yes, I do have Tesla stock. Yes, I do have Facebook stock. Because those are the companies I believe in, and I like to put my money where my mouth is, and those are the companies that are going to be relevant in the near future. But I want to talk about one last company that we haven't talked about yet, Tesla. And specifically where the future lies with a man named Elon Musk. He is going to revolutionize transport. He is going to revolutionize all of these transport, technology, batteries. A lot of you in this room think Tesla just has to do with cars. A lot of you in this room are like, Tesla just has to do with cars. Tesla has nothing to do with cars. Tesla's about the future, and it's the most futuristic company. Their sister company, SpaceX, is flying things to space. Elon Musk is making a company called the Boring Company, which is going to bore tunnels underground and make traffic easier by making multi-layers of tunnels underground. It's very, very cool. That is the company to watch out for. More than Apple, more than Facebook, more than anyone else like that. If you enjoy what's going on, again, ilearnreview.com is our website. I post all the time with my little camera. If you enjoy what happened this cruise, my name is Richard. You do have my email address from yesterday. It's on the back of the Gmail sheet the other day. Please feel free to email me. Don't ask me about iCloud email anymore, because I've already gotten 17 of those, and I think I answered that. Please feel free to email me. If you see me around the ship and you want to see this little sexy thing that's got a higher screen to body ratio than I've ever seen, this is an entire screen on the front, I welcome you to stop me and say, hey Rich, can I see this? My assistant's Rolando. This has been iLearn Review from the Celebrity iLounge, and I wish you safe travels home. Bye!